Comrades, it is now clear to me, more than it was before, that Despot Uhuru Kenyatta has decided to cling to power. He would like to change or mutilate or dismember the Constitution so that he can extend his stay on a legitimate public office and to continue abusing power beyond 2020. Let me give you examples of why I say that Despot Uhuru Kenyatta wants to extend power and why we must all put aside our petty differences to ensure that this existential threat to Kenya's unity, cohesion, and existence is removed even by force from the legitimate position he occupies. On February 16, 2020, a man called Kelvin Rono was reportedly killed in a grisly motor vehicle accident along Langata Road. The claims were that Rono was driving very fast and his Mercedes-Benz mangled into a little piece of iron and tin. You couldn't recognize the vehicle anymore. On February 21st, 2020, a man called Kipyegon Kenei, who was then serving as head of security at William Ruto's office in Nairobi, was abducted, drugged, and shot to death in Nairobi. On March 16, 2020, the head of Sagana State Lodge, head of security of Sagana State Lodge, Chief Inspector Pius Kipserem, was killed in a grisly quote-unquote motor vehicle accident along Oljorok Dundori Road in Nyandarua. On April 30th, 2020, Terence Korir was burnt to death in Buruburu. Dr. Jahansen Udwor, the pathologist, has now ruled that Korir was placed in the Subaru Impreza vehicle, alive, before he was put on fire. You all know who drives the Subaru vehicles in Kenya: the Kwekwe Squad, and now the so-called Sting, formerly the Flying Squad. You know the head of Kwekwe Squad and the Flying Squad is none other than Despot Uhuru Kenyatta. He's the one who gives the orders. Uhuru Kenyatta is using the COVID-19 pandemic as a cover, as a convenient cover to execute all senior Kalenjin security officers and to have an hostile takeover of the Jubilee Party before putting into high gear his mechanisms of clinging to power. All these deaths are connected in two ways. Number one, all the young men that died are Kalenjin young men, either currently serving or actively serving in Kenyan security forces and stationed in very sensitive places like Sagana State Lodge is where Uhuru Kenyatta meets with his Kikuyu mafia to cook up the plot to cling to power. Kenei was the head of security at William Ruto's offices. Now, both Rono and Korir used to serve in the military. In Kenya, among the mafia, they believe that to take power, to impose yourself in power, and to be able to subvert the people's will, you need the gun. They believe that power only emanates from the barrel of the gun. They don't believe that power emanates from the people. Now, the hint is this, to make sure that you understand the link to Despot Uhuru Kenyatta. When Arguing Skodek, Ronald Ngala, Alexander Muge, and Father Kaiza were officially reported to have mysteriously died either in motor vehicle accidents or in deaths that could not be explained. It was established beyond any shadow of doubt later on that they all had been shot before being placed in the vehicles where they were found. When Dr. Robert Ouko was found dead on Gotalela and burnt after having been shot in the head, we were told that Dr. Ouko took a helicopter from his house in Muhoroni, flew over Gotalela, threw himself from the helicopter, landed on the ground on his feet, took a gun, shot his head, took a kerosene jug, poured kerosene over his body, lit himself and burnt himself to death. Crispin Odhiambo, who was shot to death in Nairobi, in the morning, his killers have never been found. General Joseph Nkaiseri, whom they injected with plutonium, his killers have not been arrested. They have never ever even tried to look for his killers. Mutula Kilonzo and Justice Otieno Dek also mysteriously died before they put blue pills next to their beds to make it look like the deaths came from pills used by men who have erectile dysfunctions. The truth is that they all had been executed before their deaths. During my illegal incommunicado detention in February 2018, the flying squad officers that had kept me in detention told me one thing, which is very, very important. They all expressed their fear that they would not live to retire peacefully and enjoy the company of their spouses or their children or their grandchildren, because they had carried out very bad things which the higher ups, meaning Uhuru Kenyatta and the rest, would not want to leak out. So this is my message to Kenyans, wherever you are, whatever your ideological inclinations are, whatever your perceived interests are, whatever your ethnicities and tribes are. This is Uhuru Kenyatta is an existential threat to the Republic of Kenya. And the sooner you realize that, so that you take him out, the better. We must work together to remove Uhuru Kenyatta from power. Viva!